Hey guys, it's Sekaar, and we're going to be going over my MagDK build for the Scribes of Fate chapter. I hope that you guys enjoy. As always, with this new setup that we're doing, I'm just going to be talking to the camera for our intro. That way, we know what's going on. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to be playing all my gameplay since you guys want more of that. So if you guys want to see the gameplay for this build, check it out. Wait till the end of the video. It'll all be there. So for you guys, you can't really complain anymore in my comments, whatever. So I hope that you guys enjoy. If you aren't, please subscribe to the channel. It is free to do so, and it helps me out tremendously. But guys, that's it from me. No more talking. Let's get on with the build. Alright guys, let's get started. First things first, we're going to look at our character sheet. We're going to be a Breton on our MagDK. I think Breton, in my opinion, has been the best race for MagDK for a long time at this point. And I really don't see it changing anytime soon. I just really like the reduced cost on it. It really just helps your overall mag sustain. And I just am a real big fan of it, honestly. Our attributes are going to break down with 37 points into magic and 27 points into health to give us a max magic pool of 23.7k, a max health pool of 30.6k, and a max stam pool of 16.2k. Unbuffed, our weapon damage is going to be at 3900, but it's going to get a lot higher as we move on, as we buff up and stuff, so I wouldn't really worry too much about that. Also, we're going to be using the Warrior as our Mundus Stone. This is going to increase our overall weapon damage, so that's going to really help out our overall damage and our healing as well. Our food that we're going to be using is Orzoga Smoked Bear Haunch. It's going to increase our max health by 4,300 and our stamina and magic recovery by 369 for 2 hours. And I say this on all my build videos. If you can't afford that, because I think that on PCNA they're like 25,000 per food nowadays, which is absolutely ridiculous. Like, I hate the economy on PCNA. If you are on a budget, use Duels of Misrule. It's basically the exact same thing. You just lose 400 max health and then 12 magic and stamina recovery. So it's really not that big of a downgrade, and it's a lot cheaper. I definitely recommend this if you just really don't want to spend crazy amounts of gold on this build. Also, we're going to be doing Vampire Stray Tree as always, because the reduced damage taken with the lower health we are is amazing. That Undeath passive, in my opinion, is honestly so clutch. Our gear is going to break down like this. Our monster set is going to be Bloodspawn. We're going to be using a heavy reinforced helmet and a light divine shoulder. Bloodspawn is honestly, this set has been out since the game first came out. It's going to give you stamina recovery, and then whenever you take damage, you have a 6% chance to generate 13 ultimate and increase your physical and spell resistance by 3,700 for 5 seconds. That is great for your overall sustain, because DKs really work with a lot of overall ultimate sustain. You get basically all of your resources back whenever you use your ultimate, so Bloodspawn is just perfect for that exact reason. And again, heavy reinforced helmet and light divine shoulder. And all of our body pieces are going to have the prismatic enchantment on it, as you could tell. And then our chest piece is going to be a heavy mechanical acuity and reinforced. Mechanical acuity is going to give us a line of max magic, weapon and spell damage, and then when you deal non-critical damage, you gain a stack of mechanical acuity for 4 seconds, granting you 20% critical strike chance per stack, up to once every second. So basically, you're just getting stacks of mechanical acuity, and it basically lasts for 5 seconds. So whenever you deal non-critical damage, you get another stack. So at the lowest cost, you're basically doing 20% crit chance, then 40%, then 60, then 80, then 100, and overall you're just hitting like an absolute truck when you have those higher stacks. It is honestly so insane. Imagine you're in mechanical acuity, you're fully critting every single ability on your 4th and 5th stack, and then you're also in corrosive, you're ignoring everybody's pen, or everybody's resistances, and then on top of that, you're also critting everything you're doing. The amount that this is hitting for is disgusting, and that burst window that you have with this, it melts basically everybody. It is disgusting, and it is without a doubt the highest amount of damage that you can do in this game. I know that people are like, hey, what if people are wearing impen? It doesn't matter. It shreds right through it, and I definitely recommend trying this. I know I had a build similar like this the last patch, but we're switching the back bar setup a little bit because Mars is getting nerfed next patch, so we're kind of just prepping for that in the long run. So overall, we're changing our build from last patch slightly, and we're just kind of updating it right now. So again, heavy mechanical acuity and reinforced. a light sash of the trainee in Impen. And then also we're going to be using light rallying cry gloves. This is going to be our back bar set. This is going to be in divine. So rallying cry is going to give you crit chance, max magic, crit chance, and then while battle spirit is active, aka whenever you're in Cyrodiil, Imperial City, a duel, or a battleground, critically healing yourself or an ally is going to basically give you 300 weapon and spell damage and 1650 crit resist for 20 seconds. And honestly, the less people you have in your group as well, the less it's going to give you. So this is better for small scale or even solo gameplay. That way you have the most amount of your buff active at all times. So honestly, this is a great way to just keep your overall crit resist up while also being able to do damage, because then you could build into divines and build more into your Mundus Stone. Then also we're going to be using light mechanical acuity feet in divines as well, and then heavy mechanical acuity legs in reinforced as well. Our jewelry is going to be rallying cry jewelry. This is going to be bloodthirsty with a weapon and spell damage enchantment on it. Our mythic on this build is going to be Markin in the infused trait with a reduced health, magic, and stamina cost of abilities. In the infused trait, this is going to help your overall sustain. I just have one reduced cost on this, and it really makes the biggest difference on my sustain. I definitely noticed between having this and then not having this, the sustain feels a lot better with this. And then also we're going to be using a Rallying Cry ring in the infused trait with a weapon and spell damage enchantment on it as well. I know a lot of people say Bloodthirsty is better, and it is for your overall damage, but I really like being able to heal as well, and being in the infused trait is going to help your overall healing too, and I definitely recommend that. It helps both your damage and your healing, and in my opinion, having both rather than just the Bloodthirsty one is a huge difference, and I definitely notice it. Also, we're going to be using for our front bar, we're going to be using dual wield axes of mechanical acuity. Our main hand is going to be Nirnhoned with an increased weapon and spell damage enchantment on it. Our offhand is going to be sharpened with a shock damage enchantment on it. Now, I already had these axes laying around and I had them in sharpened. I would probably switch this to charged overall, but for the most part, sharpened's still really good for when you want to do your burst window when you don't have your corrosive up. Who the hell is this person? I'm over here in the remote area. This person's role playing. I'm literally doing a build video and you're role playing. Anyway, we're gonna be doing Rallying Cry Ice Staff in defending. This dude's role playing this. What are you doing? Get Rallying Cry Ice Staff in defending for our back bar set. I hate it here. So onto our skills, we're gonna be using Molten Whip. When you get that 3-stack Molten Whip after hitting two, others, I can't even talk right now. After hitting other Ardent Flame abilities, it increases your overall damage with this. And honestly, when you have a 3-stack whip with corrosive and mechanical acuity up, I've hit upwards of 15k whips, and it is disgusting. So whenever you use an Ardent Flame ability, you gain a stack of Seething Fury, so it's going to increase the damage of your next Molten Whip by 20%, and it's also going to increase your weapon and spell damage by 100 for 15 seconds as well. So on that 3-stack, you're getting an extra 300 weapon and spell damage, and then your next Molten Whip is going to increase your damage by 60%. So that's absolutely massive. Getting that out there is huge, and that extra damage is nuts. Also, Shattering Rocks is going to be our main CC on this build. This is going to be a great way to just control the fight, and really, if you can stack your 3-stack whip and then hit that Shattering Rocks and then hit your 3-stack whip, it is so much free damage. On top of that, you're also getting a nice heal when the effect ends, and honestly, it's just a great CC. It goes to your block. It's a perfect ability. I love it so much. Also, Flames of Oblivion. This is going to be a great way to just keep your damage up constantly. On top of that, it's also going to give you a stack of Seething Fury, so it's going to help you a lot there. On top of that, it's going to give you a Major Prophecy and Savagery, increasing your weapon and spell crit by 26-29. And then Burning Talons. This is going to be a great route for your ability. You're going back and forth between hitting Burning Talons on people and then Shattering Rocks. Also, Burning Talons is a nice little bit of AoE damage as well if you need it. And on top of that, it's a nice little dot, so hitting that on multiple people while your mechanical acuity stack is going off, it's going to be a great way to try and get your next stack to proc. And it's just a great AoE damage, especially if somebody's roll dodging something like that. It's just great extra source of damage. And then also, you just get to drain people's stam so easily with this. If you're in the middle of a fight, you hit somebody with Burning Talons, most likely, I'm not saying every time, but most likely they're going to roll dodge out of it. To hit them with that Shattering Rocks right after they roll dodge, they're wasting so much stam right there, and it is unbelievable. And it's a great way to just make for less experienced gamers, it's going to make them really just lose their sustain and lose all their stam, then you can just kill them easy. Also, Noxious Breath. This is a great source of damage. It's a nice little AoE. It goes through roll dodge, so that's great too. And on top of that, you're inflicting your enemies with Major Breach, which is going to reduce their physical and spell resistance by 6k. So when you're not in corrosive, that's really going to help your overall damage. And honestly, it's just a nice spammable in corrosive as well, because that's going to give you a stack of a Seething Fury for your whip later on. And overall, when you're in corrosive and you're getting your mechanical acuity stacks, that's a great way to get as well, because it's going to leave a nice dot. So between the dot on Noxious and the dot on Burning Talons, you're probably going to most likely get your next stack. You're going to at least get to 3 stacks most times with your mechanical acuity. If you don't, just keep on trying. It's a little bit of a learning curve, but it's definitely worth it. Also, Take Flight. I like this ultimate better because it just does more damage, period. I just like it. It does damage, especially if you have a mechanical acuity stack going. I've hit really high leaps. If you hit them with a 3-stack, if you got 3-stack whip ready to go, hit them with that leap whip combo, that's going to take at least half of their health bar if they're not a tank. And honestly, it's just so much damage. Also, Igneous Weapon. This is going to be your source of major brutality and sorcery. So it's going to increase your weapon and spell damage by 20% for 1.2 minutes. It's an easy buff to keep up. It is so long that, you know, forgetting to keep that up, that's kind of tough. I don't know what to say. Race Against Time. This is going to give you a lot of different buffs. It's going to be your snare removal, so it's going to take all your snares off of you and keep you immune to them for 4 seconds. It's also going to give you Major Expedition for 4 seconds, so that's going to make you super speedy. Then on top of that, you're also getting Minor Force, so it's going to increase your critical damage by 10%. So always make sure you have your Race Against Time active when you are in your acuities. I definitely recommend that. It's going to increase your overall damage. And then Resolving Vigor, this is going to be your main heal over time. It's going to be a nice 5-second heal that gives you some really nice healing. And on top of that, it's also going to give you Minor Resolve, increasing your physical and spell resistance by 3k for 20 seconds. And then Coagulating Blood, this is going to be your main burst heal. So when your Resolving Vigor isn't really healing you as much as you need it to, you hit this, boom, right back to up to full health, easy. Great ability. It's kind of gross. And then Volatile Armor, this is going to be your source of major resolve, so it's going to increase your physical and spell resistance by 6k for 20 seconds. Also, you're going to put a nice dot on your enemy, so, you know, if you hit this right before your mechanical acuity proc goes off, you know, it's not much damage. It's really not much damage at all, but it's really going to help your overall damage with your mechanical acuity, especially since it's a dot, and imagine if that's the one dot that gives you your mechanical acuity stack for it to move on. There's a role player again. What are you doing? Anyway, imagine that's the dot that's making your next stack of mechanical acuity proc. So it's really going to help overall, and I definitely recommend it. What does he do? Anyway. And then Corrosive Armor. This is the best ultimate in the game, period. End of story. There's literally no ultimate that's better than this, in my opinion. This basically limits your incoming damage to 3% of your max health, so it makes you super tanky. It deals basically 1k poison damage to nearby enemies for 1 second, for every second for 12 seconds. Then also the main and most important part is while active, this ability and your direct damage dealt is going to ignore your enemy's physical and spell resistance. So you're going to be hitting like an absolute truck. You can just completely ignore their resistances, and on top of that, if you have your mechanical acuity stack going, you're ignoring their resistances and you're critting every single thing in sight too. You're going to be hitting like a truck, and they're not going to know what hit them. I love it so much. And then finally, our champion points are going to be, our blue slottables are going to be Mastered Arms, Ironclad, Fighting Finesse, and Focused Mending. Our red slottables are going to be Pain's Refuge, Survival Instincts, Sustained by Suffering, and Celerity. And our green tree, the only things that we really care about are Breakfall, Rationer, and Liquid Efficiency. And that is the entire build, guys. I really hope that you enjoy. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you guys being here, especially waiting until the end. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. It is absolutely free, and it is the best way that you can support me. I can't stress that enough. It's just one click, and it really helps support me so much. Also, liking the video helps me so much too. Helps me in the algorithm, and that's just another click for you guys. You really don't have to do any kind of activity or whatsoever. You just do that one click. Easy, easy, easy. You guys, thank you so much for watching this. I really hope that you guys have been enjoying the build videos lately. It's been kind of a nice breath of fresh air. We're changing up the style of the videos, so I hope that you guys are enjoying that too. Let me know if you have any comments and positive criticism for me, or just anything like, hey, like, I'm enjoying this new structure for the videos. I appreciate it. So let me know in the comments below. But guys, that's it from me. No more talking. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Later.
this.